Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. It was just telling me my microphone wasn't working on my computer or my AirPods or anything. And of course, it just had to update itself as soon as as soon as I logged in, Zoom needed to update.
It is funny. I don't, um, how do they decide what happens when? I just don't understand.
My computer needed updates yesterday, and it was down for like 20 minutes, and I didn't even understand. So it's normally, it pulls up normally on the screen. It was a different screen than I had ever seen as far as updating goes, uh, and it took forever.
Yeah, I think technology is kind of good for, the good that it could do. And at the same time, it's just like, gosh, sometimes it makes it more inconvenient.
Absolutely.
I get it. I get it. Well, I want to just, check in with you. How are you doing, especially with your millionaire mindset?
I mean, overall, really good. I mean, but that's, kind of where doing the topic of today. I mean, overall, good. I don't have any reason to be, I mean, I would say, because typically my response is great for that, good. Um, and I
Well,
don't have any reason not to be good, but, I just have a lot of turmoil in my life, and it's some has settled down and some has not. And it's just, part of me can't believe that the year is almost over. Uh, Also, part of me can't believe how much has changed this year, and what the year has brought and what it hasn't brought. Um, so, I've just found myself being kind of, wouldn't say bummed out, but just not really knowing how to feel maybe sometime this year. It's been a confusing year. And, but I don't, I mean, but me, I mean, overall things are good. I signed a bunch of listings for the year. We're going to should sell more real estate than we sold last year. Um, I got a great family and nice girlfriend and supportive team that I work for. I mean, by all measures, I should be ecstatic and satisfied with life, right? But I'm not. That's that's where I'm at. And so I just don't know if I'm, oh, you know, in the wrong headspace recently or what I should be thinking.
well, can I be honest?
Of course.
Okay. It's not about thinking, Eric. It's about feeling.
Hmm.
Are you allowing yourself to feel your feels?
Probably not. But I would say, probably not as much as I should, I would guess. I mean, hey, this year has been a year of feelings.
Yeah.
And and maybe that's kind of where I get hung up is that, I tell myself, hey, like I should feel happy, but and it's not that I don't, it's just that I feel like, I obviously this year is going to end way different than it started. Um, and that's okay. That's every year, right? Why is this year any different than any other year? It'll end different than it started. But that doesn't mean it's bad. And I think and maybe that's the case. Like maybe I just haven't been, but I would also come out that I've acknowledged my feelings and crossed more bridges and probably grown more personally this year than I have in a very, very long time.
Mm.
Very long time.
Yeah. Um, what do you want to make sure we cover today on your call? And I know what you referred to, right? Gratitude,
Yeah.
things like that. But what do you mean by that? What can we where can we move the needle?
Well, that's what I wasn't real sure of because it's like it's a confusing feeling. I mean, I am happy with what I have and where we're at, and I have a lot of things to be thankful for. But also, I wish that, sold more houses this year. Wish that, I just had a, I don't want to say that I wish things were easier. That's not the stance that I would take about things. Um, but it was just this weird, this creeping feeling that I've had that, and maybe it's because of the end, maybe that's why, I've had a lot of things happen this year and creeping up on, the end of the year is upon us. And, parts of me look back and think, hey, was I doing everything I could in all aspects of this year? But I also think, it was a really weird year. So I just don't really know. I mean, that's really, usually this isn't my kind of, like, usually I would not want to just talk about this kind of stuff
No, I know.
and
I know.
acknowledge that my head is not really in, and I don't want to say it's not in a good place. It just, the path this year was just really, really winding and bumpy. And, and it's been at different times. The beginning of the year was, I think, pretty good all around. And I say that. I mean, obviously, we were separated a few months into the year, so it's not like things were perfect. But real estate was crazy. Then it went well. My personal life was semi-normal. Then it went crazy, and then both have been on like, both have been on a roller coaster for 6, 8 months, and I just don't know where that. I don't know how to feel about that.
Um, when you think about all the things that you just shared with me, is
Mm.
is there is there an emotion that comes to mind for you?
It's all of. I mean, it's so many of them. Especially, and I guess maybe, when there's so many of these things. So, when I think of them, as far as, I mean, my business, and then there's two separate things that, so I would say, team, team business, team businesses by all measures, fine.
Okay, so what I want to get to though is what are you feeling when you think about
Hmm.
your business? What emotion comes to mind for you?
Uh, Proud, um, but also,
Let me rephrase it. What negative emotions are coming to mind for you that might be getting in the way of your gratitude and happiness?
I feel like I could have done. I mean, looking back, I think that's where it is. Like, I feel like I could have done more. Like, what could I have done? When I think about where we're at in relation to our goals that we set for the year, was the big miss.
Is there a is there an emotion that comes to mind when you think about what could I have done? That's kind of the thought behind it. So
Mhm.
when you think that thought, what feeling comes up?
I would say, I mean, regret, or, I mean, pretty much. I mean, I would say that
Okay. And
it's the
if
that's
we
the.
shift to the team,
Mhm.
is that feeling of regret also there?
No, I don't think so. I think because that just comes from me. I mean, it just comes from me personally. So I mean, obviously, I guess some of that could transfer over, and I think and maybe, or maybe not as much as like doubt. Maybe regret's the wrong term, but like doubt, like, and it really comes from that. Like, did I do everything that I could have done? Did I, because I've got someone that relies on me to take listings, to get signs out in the yard, to help her get buyers, so did I give her did I give her the opportunity that she wanted this year?
Well, doubt is more like uncertainty.
And that's kind of where, and I'm probably, and I'm a little bit of both. Like, I feel like, and I kind of, because I am uncertain. I mean, that's where I'm at. Like, hey, it was, by a lot of measures, we had a good year, but could I have made it better? What did I not do that could have made it better? Um, what do I make sure that I don't do? How do I not feel like this next year?
Okay, so if we look at these other circles of your life though, are you experiencing doubt, uncertainty, regret in other areas?
Oh, I would say yes. I mean, if I rated, especially if I went, to the seven circles or whatever, I would probably not very many of them. A lot of them would not be tens, but I'm still in a, I mean, I'm in a big, my personal life is still transitioning a lot. It's still working a lot of things out.
Yep.
I don't even have a normal, I don't even have a normal routine. That's probably one of the biggest changes in it. And it can tend to impact, and that has, further impact my business. I remember earlier in the year, I was like, hey, I got a lot going on, but my business is good. That's okay. Well, then they both were not great, and then now they've both been recovering, which is nice. Uh, yeah, I would rate a lot of those areas too high right now. But they're on the mend. Are they higher than they were 6 months ago? Yeah. 4 months ago? Absolutely.
My friend, you are the eternal optimist, right? And you're like, hey, things
Yeah.
are picking up. But what I want to get to is is there is there something that we could work on from a transformational perspective to help you remove some of the attachment that you might be feeling energetically from this regret, doubt, uncertainty?
Yeah. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know the answer to that.
If we were to come up with a way to remove this, would this be valuable for you?
I think it would be valuable. Yes. That's where I feel like I'm in my head, like I should be feeling. I don't know. I feel like I should be feeling a different feeling. Like I should be feeling great, and I should be, I don't know. I think that's where I'm being pulled. That's where I feel like I'm just straddling this line of, are things great, or am I just an optimist in saying they are great? They're not bad. That's also the thing. That's where I'm at.
Right, but how good is not bad,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's no way to live your life. You don't want to
Right. I
live your
didn't.
life being, hey, it's not bad.
Yeah. I didn't
And you
rate
do it
myself.
all the time with a smile on your face.
Yeah. I'm rating them higher than a zero, so everything's fine, right? Yeah.
Right.
No.
So, okay, so the way that you're considering this or feeling this regret, doubt, kind of uncertainty is this a familiar feeling for you?
No. Not
Okay,
really.
so it's probably um more something that's kind of come on to the forefront this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would say yeah. Yes,
Okay.
because I feel like it's more areas than one.
Yeah.
Typically it's, I feel that, as I think a lot of people would or should, like, oh man, could have made, one more call every single day for the year. What would have done to my business? That kind of thing. So
So
there's,
your business is a byproduct of your core being, right? Your business and the results of your business are a direct relationship to, your being, your presence, how you're feeling. And if you at your core are are feeling things that are less than empowering, then it's going to show up all over the place.
well, that's where I've been for a while this year.
Okay. So here's a question for you. One of the best ways to help to heal this is to go through a forgiveness exercise.
Okay.
And I want to ask you, is it a person or is it a thing that can be, and this is just your core gut answer, what do we need to forgive? What
I
or
mean,
who?
the first two things that come to my mind are myself and my ex-wife. I mean,
Okay. Yep.
the two things.
Um, okay. Perfect. And I'm I'm glad that you came to that. So
Mhm.
should we do this now? Are you in a space that you can just kind of go internal for a few minutes and good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Um, should this process create some emotions, do you have any tissues close by, anything like that?
Doesn't look like there are. No.
Well, you have a shirt, right?
Yeah, I got a shirt.
Well, I'm just saying, allow yourself, right? If you feel something, allow it to come out. The
Hmm.
body holds on to emotions, right? So they've got to come out of your body and just allow yourself, give yourself the grace to feel whatever you feel.
Sure.
Let's start with you.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you, do you want to start with you or do you want to start with your ex-wife?
Well, let's start with her.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So just go ahead. You don't have to do anything, okay? If you have a pen in your hand, like put it down. This isn't you don't need to write anything down. This is just a place for you to close your eyes and just get quiet inside for a minute.
Okay, I can do that.
Just take a couple of deep breaths and begin to connect with the breath. Just allow yourself to center and just kind of settle down, being grateful for this body and this experience. And Eric, really give yourself permission to allow this process to mend and heal. Good. So I want you to imagine a beautiful, brilliant white light kind of coming down to the into the top of your head. And within this brilliant white light is healing, kind of like a liquid energy. Just allow it to fill up your entire body as if your body was hollow inside. Just have it fill up with this healing light. It's full of love, full of grace. And have it fill up all the way from the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head, and make sure that it goes down into each arm and each of your fingers. Just let me know when you have it. Got it? Okay,
I got
good.
it.
So keep the flow coming from this energy source. It's never ending. Just have it completely fill up so that it's overflowing and now kind of coating you on the outside of your body. And just do an internal gut check and just check your mind's eye. Are there any spaces that are dark or like shadowy that aren't able to get fulfilled with this light?
Yeah, no, it's everywhere.
It, okay, great. So in your mind's eye now, down below you and in front of you, just create a stage and bring Kim out onto the stage. And however she comes out is perfect. Now, from your heart that is all lit and all aglow, I want you to pour into the top of her head this healing energetic light so that it's a connection between the two of you. And just have it fill up her entire body. Same thing, all the way from the tips of her toes up through the top of her head, making sure that everything is completely filled up all the way down her arms and into her fingertips. And just take a look at her for a moment. And are there any spots, any dark spots that might be present
I mean, yeah, that was the first thing I thought of when,
Okay.
I just felt like there were going to be some spots that would be hard to fill up and hard
Yeah.
to.
So again, this is just a visualization, so you're doing perfect. Just go ahead and um, either allow them to be completely absorbed by the white light, or allow yourself just go down and pull them out, and then have those spaces open and filled in, just like the water from the ocean comes and fills up the hole in the sand. Okay, good. Through this process, we want to get forgiveness both ways. There's an opportunity for you to say, I forgive you. Please forgive me too. Have a conversation with her. Anything that you want to share with her, now is the perfect time to do that as we begin the forgiveness process with her. See her receptive to your communication. Just let me know whenever you're done.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now go ahead and communicate to her, I forgive you. Please forgive me too. And really mean it.
Yeah, Kim, I do forgive you, and please forgive me too.
Now, Eric, ask yourself, are there any other things that need to join her on the stage? Any physical things like the house, money, any other people that might need to come out and join her on this process? If there are, go ahead and bring them out now. And if not, just let me know.
Yeah, there's definitely things that need to be out there.
Okay, perfect. Just go ahead and put them out there now.
Okay.
Awesome. Again, from your heart, you're going to create this energetic connection to have this energy light from your heart fill up the other things that are on the stage. Have them all filled completely up so that now their energy source is coming from you and it's overflowing.
Yeah, my energy.
Your energy, yes. A loving, healing, energetic light. And just let me know when the stuff on the stage is all aglow.
It is.
Okay, great. So ask yourself if there's anything that you need to personally communicate, either to those objects or any other people. Go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, it's okay for all of us to exist and be happy and live our lives.
Yeah. So with these things, just like with Kim, I forgive you. Please forgive me too. You're doing great. Is there anyone or anything that is stuck, or are you just working through everybody?
No, nobody and nothing is stuck. Everything is, I mean,
Okay,
that's,
okay,
you know,
good.
they're all getting my energy. It's all warm and light, bright.
Excellent. Yeah, I forgive you. Please forgive me too. Just let me
Very
know when you're
fortunate.
done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, wonderful. So what you want to do now is, oh, go back, go back, go back. We're not quite done. Um,
Okay.
just like a giant pair of scissors or a big, big, big blade, whatever it is, you want to gather up all of those lighted energy connections and cut them, cut them like a big string. And as you do, just go ahead and let those energy sources go back into the top of their heads or the items and just yours as well. Just have them dissolve, have the stage dissolve, the people there, and you as well. And just come on back to the room. So how was that for you?
Well, it feels good. I mean, it feels warm and bright. Like I can send my energy to them. That's the most important piece. Like I don't have to worry about what they have going on. I can send them my nice, warm, bright, positive energy.
Love that.
And it does. I
What
mean, that's the way it feels.
good. So how does this feeling differ in comparison to like when we first got on the call and we're talking about um, some of the components and some of the things you've been experiencing?
Oh, I definitely feel, more calm, aligned, composed, warm, less confused, more thankful. Yeah, probably like that, like over, like more aligned with just who I am, how I would like the world to be, how I feel it should be, how I want it to be, and how I want the world to be, and how I want to be.
Was this a
Clear,
good use of
calm.
our time today?
Yes,
Okay. Did it accomplish what you wanted?
I feel so much better right now. It just felt chaotic
Mm,
an hour ago, 45 minutes ago.
yeah.
And that's not usually me.
You can come back to an experience like this anytime that you choose. Okay. And
Mhm.
um, I would certainly, you can also do it with yourself.
I
And
should.
put a and we can do it another time or after this.
Hmm.
Um, putting
No,
a different version of yourself on there. I think that would be really helpful as well.
no, I
Um,
will do this with myself.
okay.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
I'll,
doesn't have to be you as Eric today. It can be you as Eric as a child or any whatever vision of a version of you that comes out onto that stage. Just trust that that's the right one. Now, what you don't want to do is cut the connection at the end. You want to go down and join them on the stage and embrace them. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. No,
um,
I've got a few versions of myself that I'd like to forgive and give some energy to and be myself.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Are you in a good place?
Yeah, I am. It's just, yes, overwhelming. But yeah, I'm in a good place.
Okay. Um, let's let's circle back. I'm gonna just check in with you later, see how we're integrating
Okay.
on this. Any specific actions that you want to take, even as a result of the work that we just did today before our next call.
Well, it's, I think it would be important for me to revisit this more than one time and probably be, think about these things more often and be more proactive with my feelings than reactive. Like we talked about, I am the forever optimist, and I, positivity, is my thing, and that's how I function. But I still have to feed that in different ways, and I can impact it in different ways. And I've still got to give myself some, our energy can all run low at times, and I need to be able to give myself some energy. And obviously, I think, just thinking about me having this exercise with myself is already pretty overwhelming. So that's probably the route where I need to get to, and get rid of some things, uh, and be more mindful of it as not let it get to points where I'm feeling confused and down. And I could use this weekly, monthly, just to keep myself clear and full of the right energy.
We call it being a self-cleaning oven.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, we will not have a call next week because I'll be at Masterminds.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah.
please reach out if you need anything. Okay, I can always call you back on break or before or after sessions.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do more of a mindful gratitude and goal setting session next Friday.
Hmm.
So I'll send an invitation out for that for everybody. And I hope you can join us.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Think it's gonna be at 1 o'clock. So it'll
Mhm.
just be a little bit of a different flavor to business planning.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
think that sounds great. I like the sound of that.
okay, I love it. Please reach out should you have any questions or need anything at all, or even if something comes to mind for you that you want to
Mhm.
share with me before our time again.
Okay, that sounds
Okay,
great. Yeah, I figure I'll shoot you an update next week anyway.
that'd be great. Okay, Eric, I
Okay.
appreciate you so much.
Then, thank you, Linda.
Hey, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.